In the headlines, passengers burnt to death by bandits buried in Sokoto. 180 stranded Nigerians in Libya return home. Otaku residents protest land takeover. And away from Nigeria, helicopter crashes with India military chief on board. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. The news in detail now. Some seasonal migrants have been burnt to death at Gidanbawa village in Sabon local government area of Sokoto state. The migrants were said to be on their way to Gadan Gayan in Kaduna en route to southern part of the country in search of livelihood. The bandits opened fire on the vehicle which they hired for the journey. The incident is said to have occurred at Teke village in Gidanbawa district. The bandits, after shooting tires of the moving vehicle, were said to have surrounded the vehicle while on fire to ensure none of the passengers survived the tragedy. One of the vigilantes in Sabon local government area told reporters that the victims were from their area and neighboring Niger Republic were on their way to southern part of the country for greener pastures. A member representing Sabon South, Ibrahim Saidu, while confirming the incident, said the bandits were now robbing people of their motorcycles, phones, and other valuables on their farms. According to him, they abducted 9 people at Masawa village recently. The local guards said the military personnel deployed in the area were not responding to distress calls. At least 2 persons were reportedly killed and property worth millions of naira destroyed when gunmen invaded the Etekuru community in Ohaji, Igbema local government area of Imo State. Reports say the incident occurred in the early hours of Wednesday. Apart from property destroyed, the attackers also left some villagers injured before leaving the area. Motive for the attack is yet to be ascertained as of press time, but Daily Trust reports that the incident left the community in a state of shock. The traditional ruler of the community, Eze Kenneth Okereke, who confirmed the attack, called on security agents to come to the rescue of his subjects. Now, Kaduna State Peace Commission says ethnic profiling and stereotyping are major threats of peace across the state. Chairman of the commission, Most Reverend Idowu Ferron, said this while addressing journalists on the activities of the commission, insisting that significant progress is made in promoting peace in parts of the state. Idowu Ferron says remarkable achievement has been recorded in de-escalating the drivers of violence in all parts of the state.
Activities including kidnapping of persons for ransom, armed robbery, rustling of cattle, and raiding of villages for various motives have posed a tremendous challenge. Even though these incidences are criminal in nature, they have strained inter-community relations, especially in parts of Birnin-Gwari, Igabi, Giwa, Chikun, Kajuru, Zangon Kataf, and Jama'a local government areas, arising out of profiling and stereotyping of one group or the other. Notwithstanding these achievements, incidences of violent conflicts have continued in parts of the state, especially in Zangon Kataf, Kaura, Kauru, and Jama'a local government areas. Efforts are currently ongoing to address the grievances driving the conflicts. Working together, I am optimistic that success will soon be recorded in these local government areas. Initiatives in Zangon Kataf are being strengthened to bring an end to the ongoing conflicts. Furthermore, robust statewide interventions are being implemented to ensure peaceful coexistence among the diverse farming and pastoral communities in the state.
Now, Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption says 1 trillion naira recovered from non-conviction asset recovery has been rechanneled to uplift the lives of poor Nigerians through various government programs. Chairman of the committee, Professor Ise Sage, said this in Lagos while addressing newsmen on progress the committee made in the fight against corruption. Sege said between 1960 and 2011, about 83 billion US dollars have been stolen by corrupt leaders, noting that Nigeria is currently losing $45 billion annually to corruption.
That there is jurisdiction, they appeal to the Supreme Court. The main case has been abandoned all this while. So the Supreme Court takes 5 years. So when you look at it, 2 years, 3 years, 5, that's 10 years. After 10 years, Supreme Court confirms the jurisdiction of the court. It now goes back to the court to start again. What has happened under the Administration of Criminal Justice Act is that the Act now says when a party files a preliminary objection, you court take the preliminary objection and the main case together. So make your preliminary objection. After they argued it, they said the cause is very good. I take note. I have all my notes here. Now go on to the main case. I won't give any judgment. They now go to the main case. At the end of it, the judge will give judgment on both. So it will say, if he says, for example, that the preliminary objection really succeeds, then they appeal on that. But he can say, go through the preliminary objection and say there's no basis for it, dismisses it, goes to the main case and gives judgment. So when you leave the High Court, you are going with everything. You are not going to come back ever again. That's what has happened. And so it's faster now. Prepared to guide themselves in what they are doing. But we are hoping that even after 2023, without necessarily retaining the personnel that is also are there now, whatever government that comes into power will see the virtue of having it.
Now, at least 13 school children returning from school died in Lagos on Tuesday after a truck reportedly suffered brake failure and rammed into them. The accident happened along Isheri Road just before the Ojodu police station, with businesses along the road shut down and vehicular traffic grounded. Police spokesperson in Lagos, Adekunle Ajisebutu, who confirmed the incident, said the casualty figure is yet to be confirmed. The truck driver is alleged to have run into the children just outside Ojodu Grammar School and sped away, which led to the angry youths vandalizing the truck after capturing the fleeing driver. Now, European Union Special Program through the International Organization for Migration has assisted at least 180 stranded Nigerians back to the country. Profiles of the returnees indicate 74 female adults, 14 female children, making the total female assisted back as 94, while male adults 64, male children 12, and 10 infant males. The authorities said the returnees are being kept for the mandatory 7-day isolation period before being allowed to go to their respective places for those who have no traces of a particular medical issue. The House of Representatives on Tuesday mandated the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali, to take over the investigation, prosecution and arrest of suspects involved in the murder of Sylvester Oromoni, the 12-year-old secondary school student murdered by his peers on 27 November 2021 through multiple internal injuries. The motion, which came under matters of urgent national importance by Ohime Idem, representing Okanafong Urok, Anan Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State further stressed the need for an investigation into incessant cases of inhuman treatment in boarding schools across the country.
Of the lawmakers, because these children that are being wasted, these children that are being molested, are the children that we are representing. They are our constituents. So we cannot watch this kind of situation happening in our boarding schools across the entire country. So that's why I rise this morning and appeal to my colleagues to join voices and then stand and defend the innocent children, innocent Nigerians that only go to school to develop the talent, the God-given talent, so that tomorrow they can become better citizens and contribute towards the development of this country. Mr. Speaker, I want to also use this opportunity to call on Federal Ministry of Education to rise to this challenge. They cannot allow schools to run their boarding schools the way they like. This issue is everywhere. I set in a motion that the Federal Ministry of Education should set out proper guidelines on the operation of boarding schools, because I'm quite sure if proper measures have been put in place, all these killings wouldn't have been taking place. There would have been a proper way of monitoring the activities of these children.
Meanwhile, the House mandated its Health and Foreign Affairs committees to interface with the Ministries of Health and Foreign Affairs to resolve the temporary ban placed on foreign travelers from Nigeria to UK over Omicron COVID-19 variant concerns. Minority Leader of the House, Ndudi Elumelu, brings the matter to plenary on the matters of urgent national importance, noting that Canada had earlier extended travel ban to travelers visiting the country.
The way they treat us as if we are not human beings. Mr. Speaker, recently there was a video that went around Cameroon, former Prime Minister, making jest of Nigerians and saying how we waste money or whatever. And this to me is unfair. Because if I could remember from what I've read in the history, even though they themselves came to Nigeria, exploited our resources, and nothing happened, and we did not ban their people from entering our country. British government ought to have dealt with Nigerian government in terms of interfacing and discussing with the Presidential Task Force or COVID-19 to ascertain whether there is any carrier at all or any positive record of Omicron variant in Nigeria.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up, still on NDDC board appointment. Stay with us for more details. You're watching Trust News Update. Now here's another look at the main news again. Some seasonal migrants have been burnt to death at Gidambawa village in Sabon Birni local government area of Sokoto State. Plus, European Union special program through the International Organization for Migration has assisted at least 180 stranded Nigerians back to the country. Now, Nigeria has recorded 107 additional COVID-19 infections across 7 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, stated this on its Facebook page late Tuesday night, noting that no fatalities were recorded. The center added that while the fatality toll still stands at 2,980, the infection toll has increased to 214,896, with a total of 207,495 people treated and discharged. Nigerian Senate has condemned the United Kingdom's inclusion of Nigeria in their COVID-19 red list without justification. The Senate consequently has asked the federal government to engage the British authorities to reverse her decision, saying that there are no justifications for such action. The report.
Following the outbreak of Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus, the United Kingdom had included Nigeria under her watch list. This decision, however, is not going down well with the Nigerian Senate. The Senate this Tuesday therefore reached a resolution aimed at compelling the UK government to have a rethink so as to remove Nigeria from her COVID-19 red alert list. Senator Etekuru, who came under Order 42 and 52 of the Senate rules, noted that Nigeria is up to date in her efforts against the pandemic, in line with the World Health Organization's guideline, and there was no need for the UK government to place her under any red alert. Etekuru recalled that Nigeria is also among the countries with the lowest cases of COVID-19 globally. He is worried that the British government's latest decision may affect many Nigerian citizens who have planned to spend their Christmas and New Year holiday with their families in the UK.
The motion is for the need for the government of the United Kingdom to remove Nigeria from COVID-19 red list. We note with satisfaction the efforts of the government of Nigeria in the containment and treatment of COVID-19 cases. This Senate should further note that Nigeria is among the countries with the lowest cases of COVID-19. But we are worried that by the decision of the British government to include Nigeria in the COVID-19 list, with its concomitant implications, which will affect many citizens of Nigeria who have planned to spend their Christmas and New Year holidays with their families. We also worried that Nigerians with genuine need to visit the UK within this period will be denied visa, and those with visa will not be allowed to enter the UK.
Etekuru also drew the attention of the chamber to global concerns over vaccine hoarding and inequity and the consequences on the low-income nations such as Nigeria.
We are aware of the global concern over vaccines hoarding and inequity and the resulting consequences on low-income nations in the fight against COVID-19. This Senate is hereby called upon to resolve as follows. 1. Condemn in strong terms the UK government inclusion of Nigeria in the COVID-19 red list without justification.
In his remarks, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, noted that such decision by the UK government will affect a long history of diplomatic relations between both countries.
I'm sure with this motion, Nigerians have spoken to the British authorities that the inclusion of Nigeria is seriously jeopardizing the relationship between this great country and Britain, because let there be justification for it. We are not saying that they cannot put any country on the red list, including Nigeria, but there must be reasons for doing that.
The Senate then resolved to call on the British Parliament to intervene with a view to having Nigeria removed from the UK COVID-19 red alert list.
Indigenes of Otaku village in Abuja are protesting takeover of their land by the Nigerian police operatives. The residents stand by the roadside with placards expressing anger over the development.
The government that they have come to clear land to build sport arenas for our people here. We've not been resettled, we've not been compensated, and the police says they won't take land. So the land is our home, the land is our heritage, it's our history, it's our culture. So unfortunately, we've not been compensated, we've not been resettled. And I speak with you, we are saying the police cannot take the land until we are resettled and compensated. We've not denied the fact that the land does not belong to the police office by proxy. But as I speak with you, we are the original owners of the land. And we will not allow the police take over the land, because we are going to die here, we will die here, we will die here, and we will die here. We are not giving anybody.
Also, contractors handling Niger Delta Development Commission projects are protesting non-constitution of the NDDC board by President Muhammadu Buhari. The contractors block entrance of the commission's headquarters in Port Harcourt. The report.
The angry contractors blocked the gate of the commission with canopies, disallowing workers entry who had to gather in clusters and left with no option but to go home. Leader of the group, Joe Adia, said they would occupy the entrance until a substantive NDDC board is inaugurated. Other contractors handling NDDC projects said the reason why they abandoned contracts is because the commission is owing them. They called on President Muhammadu Buhari to inaugurate the board as a matter of urgency, as well as remove the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio.
They should not work. They are working for us. We are the contractors. We are the reason why they are here. So if we are aggrieved, which means they are not doing their jobs, or they are not allowed to do their jobs. We are saying the federal government, as a matter of urgency, like we said today, this is day 2, and this is just the beginning. Yes. We are ready to be here. If we have been starved for over 10 years, what will it take us if we even stay here 1 year to achieve results? It's correct. They will pay us and they will bring in the board. The nonsense that is happening in NDDC must stop.
We cannot be held for more than 4 or 5 years and you are paying the silting projects. The desilting you are paying today has no effect to anybody in this region. The project that we have done is the one that the community is benefiting from. The one that the community is benefiting from, you are not paying it. You are paying the silting that has no effect to communities. And we have come to say enough is enough. We do not want any payment for the city. You will pay us our money, you will bring the board.
We want to send a message, a clear message to Mr. President, that he has far left a criminal, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and score us at the worstest fraud we have ever met in NDDC. And we have proofs. We are saying, as a matter of urgency, let the president bring the NDDC board representing the 9 states of the Niger Delta, so that we can have where we can channel our complaints to. The sole administrator, you can imagine, a man that runs an agency for 2 days, contractors are protesting, is nowhere to be found. He has just collected 40 billion from the federal government and has run to Akwa Ibom, paying the silting up and down, 800 million, 400 million.
The contractors vowed not to leave the premises until their demands are met.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari is seeking the speedy passage of the Finance Bill 2021 to enhance implementation of the 2022 Appropriation Bill. This is contained in a letter read on the floor by President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, at the commencement of Tuesday's plenary. The report.
The 2021 Finance Bill contains reforms in areas such as taxation, excise duties, customs, and other relevant fiscal policies. It is against this backdrop that President Muhammadu Buhari is seeking that the bill be passed early in order for it to support the implementation of the 2022 budget. The bill, as contained in the letter, specifically provided for enhanced domestic revenue mobilization, tax administration, and legislative drafting reforms, and consequently increased tax and non-tax revenues through the automation reforms by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the FIRS. The proposed legislation also intends to accelerate the international taxation system to enhance taxation of non-resident individuals and companies who derive profit from Nigeria.
Of the Finance Bill 2021 to the National Assembly for consideration and passage into law in support of the 2022 budget. Pursuant to Sections 58 and 59 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I formally request that the Finance Bill 2021 be considered by the Senate for passage into law. The Finance Bill 2021 seeks to support the implementation of the 2022 Federal Budget of Economic Growth and Sustainability by proposing key reforms to specific taxation, customs, excise, fiscal, and other relevant laws. Specifically, this bill provides for enhanced domestic revenue mobilization efforts to increase tax and non-tax revenues.
President Buhari had on the 7th of October 2021 presented before a joint session of the National Assembly a 16.39 trillion naira 2022 appropriation bill, which is currently getting legislative attention.
And away from Nigeria, German lawmakers elected Social Democrat Olaf Scholz as new Chancellor on Wednesday, ending 16 years of conservative rule under Angela Merkel and paving the way for a pro-European coalition government that has promised to boost green investment. Scholz, 63, who served as Vice-Chancellor and Finance Minister in Merkel's outgoing government, got a clear majority of 395 votes from lawmakers in the Bundestag lower house of Parliament. Bundestag President Babel Bas said Scholz exchanged first bumps with lawmakers from across the political spectrum. He nodded wearing a face mask and waved as he received a standing ovation, receiving bouquets of flowers from the leaders of the parliamentary groups. Still on the foreign scene, a helicopter carrying India's Defense Chief General Bipin Rawat has crashed in the southern state of Tamil Nadu. Indian Air Force confirmed the incident in a Twitter post on Wednesday. The helicopter was on its way from an Air Force base to the Army Defense Services College when it crashed near Kano in the Tamil Nadu. Although Rawat's condition is still unclear, 3 injured people have been taken to a hospital. Rawat is India's first Chief of Defense Staff, a position that the Indian government established in 2019, which he assumed last year after retiring as Army Chief. He is seen as close to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and is an advisor to the Defense Ministry. The Indian Air Force say an inquiry is on the way into the accident. And with that, we wrap up Trust News Update. Do well to click the subscribe button on our YouTube and also follow us across all social media handles for more updates. I am Ayubelia. Thank you for watching.